This week's homework, you'll be tasked with creating a two-word logo. This two-word logo would be similar to the week 3 activity where we created a two-word logo in Photoshop without the use of clip art, just by using color and typography. When we return to class, each team member will present their logo and it will be put to a vote as to decide which of the logos will be used on the website. You also want to search Creative Commons for images that you can use for your individual HTML page. The best way to do this is to go into Flickr Creative Commons, and here I've Googled Creative Commons Flickr, and you can see here there's a link directly there. And the area within Flickr Creative Commons that you want to be able to use is this area here where it says Attribution License. All you need to do with the photographs in this category are properly attribute the images that you find. To search this category of images, just click on the button here where you see More. Whenever you are in this area, you can browse for popular tags. For example, I could browse for spicy chicken. Now there's going to be a large number of images that are going to come up, and some of them will be usable and some of them will not. So what you want to do is you want to scroll through until you find images that you can use. And once you've found something that you can use, then you want to download that file. I've selected one here that I like and that I've prepared in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this image. This image here you can see has already been copyright protected with the photographer. It says copyright Christian Sosa photography. But under the terms of the conditions of Flickr, you actually have to include the copyright information as well as the photography date. So let's take a look at this information here. I can see here that it's taken on June 22nd, 2013. I can see here that the photographer's name is Christian Sosa. In order to download this photograph, I want to go over here to this download button here where it says download now. It's a down arrow with a white line underneath it. To download the file, you can either download it in square, small, medium, large, or original size. I always suggest that you download the original size or at least a large size file and then go from there because you can always crop and decrease the size afterwards. I've already downloaded this image. I've made some alterations in Photoshop. I've included my new logo, the Devil's Fork, over here, and I've also included a little bit of a caption here. So here's my home page hero shot, if you will. It includes some cropping on thirds. I've got a nice little image here that really I think communicates a little bit about what this new restaurant theme is going to be. Now I'm ready to save this image and make this image web ready. The first step is to go up here to File, Save for Web. When you file Save for Web, you're going to get a number of different options to choose from. You'll notice that when I click File Save for Web, I automatically have this split screen into 4, but that's not the default image. The default image actually is original like this. But there are a number of tabs here. You'll notice that I've got Original, Optimized, 2-up, and 4-up. I really like to compare the 4-up because you can see as you approach the image, and I'm just going to scroll in here and go a little bit closer, you can see how the image quality changes as you get in a little bit tighter. And as you get a little bit closer, it really does change the font as well as the content in the picture. But as we zoom back, that becomes less and less clear. So the first thing I want to do is I want to point out a couple of things. If you are saving an image to web that is strictly a graphic image without text whatsoever, you want to go ahead and save it as a JPEG. However, all of the images that we're going to be using in this particular website require the use of attributions. So you can see at the bottom of my page here, I have an attribution here attributing Christian Sosa photography. Over here, I want to change this from original to PNG 24. PNG 24 will treat your text as a vector graphic. It's going to resize the image mathematically as opposed to trying to resize the object using pixels. Here, of course, you want to make sure that you change it to convert to sRGB. You want to take a look at each one of these images and then take a look at the information at the bottom left-hand corner of each one of these dialog boxes. Over here I have PNG 24, and then you can see here it's 24 seconds. I have a GIF file here that's 6 seconds. I have another GIF file here that's 5 seconds and another GIF file here that's 8 seconds. You have to take a look at these files and determine clearly 24 seconds is too high. 6 seconds is reasonable. So let's take a look at this image enlarged. But I also have this image here that's 5 seconds. Let's take a look at the quality between these two images and make a comparative decision. I'm going to switch here to 2 up, and here I have my 6-second document. I'm going to bump it up a bit. Actually, that's reasonable. I can still see quite clearly my copyright information, as well as my logo, as well as my caption. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, even though it's a GIF and not actually a PNG document. Another alternative would be to save it as a PNG 24 or a PNG 8. Those are two that you can consider. In the end, the objective is to try to find the document size that has the quickest upload, but the best quality picture. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. I'm going to name this Hell's Chicken. Go ahead and find some Creative Commons images that you can turn into a really great, impactful hero shot and that you can upload to your home page. Consult with your team members to make sure that you have a consistent theme for your site.